Welcome to the Christmas tour of the Stone Cottage. I will apologize right now for my voice and for the delay. I've had bronchitis, so I haven't felt real perky. But Christmas is here, so obviously it's time to take a tour. And I've got the twinkle lights up. So you can see a little twinkle. And the one on the left, the tree on the left has the twinkle. The tree on the right, its twinkles are very, very dim. So you know how fairy lights are. I need to replace that. But you can also see into the windows, which is always fun. Now just something seasonal here with the pencil hollies. Trying to think of what that tree is called. But you probably, if you're anywhere near me, you probably see these balls around, but I think they're a pretty shade of green, some holly and some pine cones and some magnolia leaves, a little bit of some pine boughs to make that look a little more festive at the base of our pencil hollies. And to give you a peek, if you were driving past my home, you'd be able to look inside and see our Christmas tree. Now, one of the things I do want to mention here, these are our permanent lights, which can change colors. My husband likes them in the red and green. I like them in just this warm white. But it's kind of felt like the fairies changing. In Sleeping Beauty, it's pink, blue, pink, blue. So he likes one way and I like another. So let's head inside and see what things look like. Welcome inside. Our theme this year, if you're not a regular viewer, is glamour and glitter and all things shiny combined with vintage. Now it's just about perfect for my house, considering that my grandmother loved shiny things, and of course if it was my grandmother's, it obviously is vintage. So our tree has gold ribbons, and vintage balls, and some balls that have beads on them that my grandmother made. Glittery birds from the 1950s. Crystal ornaments. And my children's silver baby cups. Now, if that's not mid-century, I don't know what is. Looks like the Sputnik. That is a Christmas ornament from the 1950s. Silver ornaments. More baby cups. Ended up being a very fun tree. And right next to it, My friend brought me some cookies that she made, so we even have a sparkly cookie. She made those. I was pretty impressed. And these were the stained glass Christmas trees that my father made one year. In the corner cabinet with our Santa Claus from probably, I think, the 1960s. And the ceramic Christmas tree that you can find at most craft stores now, a lot of different places, actually is a vintage one. And there are two Fitz and Floyd pieces, Santa's pack and the plate down on the bottom shelf with the bells. Those are thrift store finds. We have our battery-operated candles that come on every evening, and then the swags that light up from the outside. Needlepoint pillow, and my favorite little needlepoint kitty. My mother's dear friend Levita made that. And she always did lovely work. And Diana with her beads. These beads were broken when I was a child. I think they were probably from the 30s. I don't know. They were in my grandmother's jewelry case, but I just always thought they looked like Christmas. So Diana got a change of necklace this year for Christmas. And bows and greenery on a candle, one of my favorite easy ways to decorate. Of course, you have to have a poinsettia, and there is the fourth tree. And on the table here, a little box that looks like a present next to a fresh floral arrangement. I just made that today. And I just put some Mod Podge on the pine cones and sprinkled a little glitter on it so they would maintain our theme. I'm just hoping that Kirby doesn't get into it. He really likes fresh floral arrangements and wants to get up there and chew on them. I forgot to mention the Christmas tree skirt that my grandmother made. She actually dated it 1956 is the year that it was made, so it's always been a part of my life. And there's a little train that goes around. We thought that was just the most fun thing ever. I can remember lying on my tummy looking at the Christmas tree skirt. And since I don't have a fireplace or a mantle in this house, I decorate the top of my piano like I would a mantle. Now I have added something. If you've watched my other videos, I added a little something. And that is I added I think they're mother of pearl in silver. And there are some little fairy lights in there, a little hard to see. And of course, the Christmas music has to come out. And there's no point in putting it away. It will come out, so I just use a tray to hold the favorites. When my children come and my sons-in-law, I have a son-in-law that loves to play the piano, and he will sit down and start playing, and we sing and we play and have a great time, and the girls will do duets. The children will all play their favorite songs from their programs, their recitals. And we are definitely a Christmas music kind of a family. Here's my china cabinet, decorated on the top with greenery and lights and bows. And inside, the holly plates. There's the candy carriage, over 100 years old, for when my grandmother was a little girl, and it was under the Christmas tree full of candy when she was young. Lots of silver, lots of crystal, and one of my viewers said you need to have balls inside the silver bowl. So I brought some balls out. And this was my great-grandmother's rock crystal. They were champagne flutes. And I know those glasses look very blue, but in reality, they are a little more green than that. So I think they're fun to have out for Christmas. And there's a picture that matches the holly plates. And the books, most of the books were my great-grandfather's poetry books, and he died in 1926. In the library, the amaryllis look really pretty here. Sometimes I put them on the piano. These are a faux amaryllis, but they look so real that I just love having them. And it's a little dark in this corner. Maybe I'll try another light. It's a little brighter. Cross-stitched pillow Christmas tree. And the swag and the candles are identical to what's in the living room, so that the front of the house is symmetrical. And in the powder room, a little greenery above the mirror. We have a tiny bathroom, so that's all the Christmas we can stuff in here, except for a few little hand towels, little red and green hand towels. Again, very vintage. Now walking under the archway to the heart of our home. There's a mirror here with a little greenery. Some touches of red with our poinsettias. We have to have those. An old marble top credenza, I guess it was. And lots of candles and crystal and silver, keeping that theme going. And I don't have anything under the cake dome yet, but we have some holly berries to give it a little festive touch. And on top of the armoire that I used to hold my china, we've got some spode serving platter and more silver. And our antlers look like the deer just ran through the forest. Now, these plants have come inside for the winter, and they really haven't found a home yet, but the kalancha, I gave him a little festive touch with his gold sparkly balls, since he won't get flowers probably until February. Now above the dining table, a swag with dried magnolia leaves and dried hydrangeas from my backyard, some faux fruit and berries, and there are some pine cones collected over the years, and to bring the sparkle into here, these are little tea bag rests that one of my viewers helped me to identify, and I've never used them for that before, but I thought they would be fun and sparkly in here. And if you look out on the deck, you can see some old-fashioned Christmas lights with the big balls on them. I think that's fun to see on the deck. And I have not set the table. If you'd like to see me set the table for Christmas, I can do that. Let me know and I'll share what I've done, what I'll be doing. But you can see I've got another Spode serving platter and a fresh arrangement that I've made. And I've had to redo parts of it. My kitty Kirby absolutely loves fresh plants. And I was hearing all kinds of little racket. And there's the culprit right there. But he was getting up on the table when I wasn't in the room and chewing on the plants. And I couldn't understand why I had these little bald spots in my arrangement. And it was the help of Kirby. So we'll go over and see Kirby. Hey, Kirby. You can tell everybody Merry Christmas. Meow. He's kind of bored. Now I have another garland on the window in the family room area. And again, more of my dried hydrangeas and my dried magnolia leaves. And there are the large pine cones. And this one has birds. It has a bird theme here. So there's a cardinal, a little chickadee, and a bluebird. And here's another little cardinal here that, again, a thrift store find. Since it's the state bird, we always have to have some cardinals around. And to give my topiary that's immature, that's what he is. He's immature, so he's not real well grown, but throw in a little extra greenery, a little holly berries to give him some color. And lots of candles in this area. And again, the bird theme is carried through down here with even a few little feathers. And I guess that cat over there is waiting to catch a bird. The little cat pillow, because he's a doorstop. And I like the orchids, the white of the orchids with the red of the poinsettia. Another candle with greenery and a bow. And this is the primary bedroom. I need to put some little fairy lights on the wreath, so there is a wreath. I haven't decorated very much in my bedroom, and I do have just a little arrangement up here that's holly berries and some fresh greenery. I'll take you back to the living room because I forgot this. A touch of glam back here. My grandmother had a mink jacket that was so dated I knew no one would ever wear it. So I took it apart. This is one of the sleeves, and it makes a perfect little neck roll pillow. And I also made a pillow that's in the living room, and I forgot to show you that. But with all of our silver, we had a little touch of mink. Another candle with ribbon and some greenery. And here in the kitchen, I don't think too many things are more festive than a big bowl of fruit. And we have some garlands up high, a little candle. And I've been doing some of my Christmas cooking. So this is what I'm known for, is my English toffee. And there's a container that's empty, which means I still need to bake some more for those grandkids. So all 9 of my grandchildren will be coming. And some more holly tucked into the topiary. Now here is the mink pillow that I forgot to tell you about. That was the back of my grandmother's mink jacket. But I figure I'll be able to get 2 standard size pillows and 2 little neck roll pillows out of the sleeves, which should be fun. But that way we'll actually be using that mink coat, because it would have just sat in the closet until moths ate it, I suppose. Now, when I was gathering ideas for my inspiration for my Christmas decorations, and decided to go with vintage sparkly glam, one of the things I pulled out was the old costume jewelry. This was a necklace with, the 3 strands, and one of the strands got broken. And so I put this one around here. Thought that was fun. And over on this one, this coordinates. It does not match, but I had another vintage necklace, and I think only one of the 3, I think it originally had 3 strands and only one of them has survived. But that's the solid colored pearls, our vintage necklace. And I'm not quite sure where this other one came from, but it had similar kinds of colors to the other one. So I thought they would make a fun pairing here. Now I'm going to back up just a little bit to show you some other things that I've done with the costume jewelry. Now here in the entryway, I've made a little swag to go above the mirror. But what I've done is I've included a rhinestone brooch that I've never seen anybody wear at all. So it looks very 1940s to me. Probably something that belonged to one of my grandmothers. But it's just set around in a jewelry box. But I thought that would be fun to put it on the mirror. And of course we did see the other, this was actually a necklace that my mother bought for me that was mother of pearl and some little silver beads that she got for me in the 80s, maybe in Mexico or something. And up here, this is just our little tiny landing here, just 2 steps up the little landing. And this particular bow has an ear bob. That's what my grandmother would have called it, an ear bob. We would call it an earring, but it's a clip-on earring that I thought would be fun, kind of like a button on this particular piece. So instead of just using the beaded garlands on a tree or something big, fun to take some of these short little beads that we usually bedeck ourselves with, or people used to bedeck themselves with, and put them on something small. Thank you so much for joining us on our Christmas tour, and Merry Christmas to you and your families from those of us here at the Stone Cottage. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.